Hello, and thank you for watching The Righteous Kitchen, a cooking and baking blog found at www.therighteouskitchen.blogspot.com. Today I am going to share with you my original recipe for chicken broccoli bake. And this is a recipe, it's going to be reminiscent of chicken Alfredo. It's a nice creamy cheese sauce with macaroni, chicken, and broccoli. So before we start, we're going to get a deep 9 by 13 baking dish. And we want to coat it with oil. Give it a good coating of oil. And this pan here I like because it has a lid that goes over it. So that's going to help with our baking time. If you don't have the lid, that's fine. We're just going to cover it with foil. And we're just going to coat this and then move it off to the side. And we'll come back for that later. And then I have on the stove a pan of water because we're going to want to cook 1 cup of dried large elbow noodles. And then we're going to steam 3 cups of broccoli. Now I wanted to show you real quick how I do this broccoli. Now I don't have 3 cups today, and that's fine. So I am going to utilize these stems. So what I've done is just got in here and broken down the broccoli. I like to cut it anywhere there's a little break that I could get my knife through, and just cut it, bring the knife down. But I want to cut these stems really small, and I want to cut them as close to the broccoli floret as I can get. Now I don't want to cut any more into there. What I don't like when this broccoli breaks apart and leaves a mess. So I go in here and just, break this piece in half and just pull it apart. But I don't want to chop these little pieces at the end, because the more you handle those, the messier your dish is going to be. So when I have my casserole, I want to have these remain intact. I don't want everything getting all green. So just cut your stalks all the way up there as close as you can get. And then just come in here from the bottom. And then if you could just pull it apart like that, you're going to have a piece of broccoli that's going to stay together. You're not going to have a bunch of green little flecks throughout your dish. So let me get this to steaming, and then I'll get this pasta cooked up, and I'll be back to get the filling prepared. Okay, while that pasta cooks, we'll continue on. What I want to do right now is prepare the bread crumbs for the topping. And I have 4 slices of just plain white sandwich bread that I have ground to a fine crumb using my food processor. So I have that, and I have 4 tablespoons of butter that's been melted, and I have 1/3 cup of Parmesan cheese. So what we're going to do is just combine everything in a bowl. And just give it a good stir. You want all these bread crumbs to get that butter on them. You could even use your hands and just kind of get in here and toss it. And this is going to give a nice crunchy topping to the casserole. So that's done. So we're going to set that aside. And I'm going to wash my hands real quick. And okay, to start the filling, I am using 1.5 pounds of rotisserie chicken that's been defatted, deskinned, the bones out, and it's been chopped. So I have 1.5 pounds of that. My elbow noodles are still cooking, so we'll get those in a minute. And I have 2 cans of, just the normal size cans of cream of chicken soup. And I'm using this really cute little spatula from Pampered Chef. What I like about it is it gets right in this can, but it has a smaller paddle, so I could get in there. I don't have to worry about cutting it on the edge of this can. And this one looks a little bit different. This is a fat-free version. You can use whatever version you want. They have low salt, fat-free, regular. I think nowadays with this quarantine, we're just lucky if we can find any soup. So, all right. I'm going to switch to a larger spoon so that I can blend everything. I'm also going to check on these noodles real quick. Okay, the noodles are done, so I'm going to drain them. And that's just 1 cup of dried large elbow noodles. So those are draining and we'll come right back to them. All right, to this we have 3 chicken bouillon cubes that have been crushed. And we have 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. And we have, let me get the large spoon. I'm going to go ahead and give this a stir. I'm not adding any salt to this because the soup has sodium and so does the chicken bouillon cube. Now this recipe, I wanted it to be super creamy. And you can see there's a lot of cream there. And that's why I'm also only using 1 cup of the noodles. So now I'm going to stir in 3 cups of Monterey Jack cheese. Or if you don't have that, you can use mozzarella. So I'm going to give this a stir. All right. So let me get the noodles. All right, we've got our noodles and the broccoli. So I want to just fold this all together. And I want to fold it because I want to try to keep that broccoli intact. It's a very thick mixture, so you gotta put some muscle into it. Fold it. There you go. Kind of work from the center. And then fold it. Bring everything back up. All right. So we've got that. Let me wipe my hands off a little. And we have this buttered casserole dish. So we're just going to spoon everything into this dish. This is a family favorite. Like I said, I made it for my daughter because she really likes chicken Alfredo with broccoli. But another nice thing about this from being a dish that everyone will eat is that it freezes well. So if you're wanting to freeze this, I just let it chill in the refrigerator once it's cooked, and then I slice it and then cover each slice with plastic wrap. And then if you have a food saver, you know, just throw your pieces of casserole in that and it'll last for months. Alright, so you want to spread this evenly. Get those corners. This already looks good, even without the topping. Okay, so my hands are clean. And I'm going to use my hands again for this topping. So just cover evenly. You could just take the whole thing and just scoot it over to the sides. All right. I am going to cover this and put it into the oven, center rack at 350 for 1 hour. I will come back once it's baked. Okay, this has been going a little over an hour, so I'm going to take it out and show you what it looks like right now. Okay. Okay, it's nice and bubbly now. So I want to put this back in for about 15 minutes to let the breadcrumbs crisp up. So I'll be back in about 15 minutes. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes since I took the lid off of the casserole. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it out of the oven. We just wanted it in there to finish browning those breadcrumbs. So there it is. It's nice and bubbly, and the breadcrumbs are nice and crunchy. see what that looks like in the camera. Pull it up a little bit more for you. All right, so this is nice and hot and bubbly, and I'm gonna go ahead and spoon some up so you can see. And we have an airplane flying overhead. Okay, so when I made this, I wanted it super creamy. So we have 2 cans of the cream of mushroom soup and 2 cups of heavy cream. And then we have 3 cups of cheese. So it's super creamy and cheesy. And we didn't put a ton of noodles in here. So look at that, super duper creamy. Put this spoon down. I'll try to give you a close-up. Right there. So there you have it. Chicken and broccoli casserole or chicken and broccoli bake. It's very delicious. This is too hot for me to taste right now, but I'll get you a close-up of this. And like I said, if you want to freeze it, just refrigerate this, let it cool to room temp, and then refrigerate it. Then you can cut it in slices, wrap it up. I like to put the slices in a food saver, and then you've got it in your freezer for a quick and easy meal. So I'll get a close-up of this so that you can see it. And thank you for watching. You have a great day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks.